Hey YouTube, gonna do Beyond the Hype on Sableye, but I also want to talk about. I'm gonna have my PIKA Libre by the time this goes live Saturday morning. Because I'm like a few wins away from rank 20. I want to talk about the ranks. I want to talk about some stuff you should know that you should probably do right away, and I want to talk about just sort of the season and the meta as we move forward, mixed in with Sableye analysis. So I've kind of gone over Sableye a lot on this channel. It was the go-to save swap early on. If you had return on this Pokemon and you save swapped it and you're met with the Zoom roll, if you landed a return, you could flip that matchup. I think the evolution of the typings hurt it. I think there was a lot more normal typings that caused it some difficulty, and then a bunch of fairies showed up in the meta. So I think that between that and just everything else becoming sort of bulkier, it just kind of fell off. Then it got its shadow version, and that Shadow Claw foul play spam was fantastic because then you could just go Shadow Claw foul play, Shadow Claw, and take stuff out. Then it got nerfed, so it dropped in relevancy, and now it got buffed again with foul play. So I think the short of Sableye, and we'll go over some battles here, is, middle of the road type stats in terms of attack, defense, and stamina. Only weak to fairy, but you will have problems with normal typing because your Shadow Claw is double resisted on normals. You will also have trouble with obviously darks because darks will resist the Shadow Claw and the foul play. So those are your biggest issues. Only weak to fairy, double resist normal, psychic, and then single resist poison and fighting. Again, the stats here not crazy, so you can do shadow, non-shadow as you see here. I think the difference is when we're going to look at the stats here, with the shadow bonus, you're at 4.32 damage per claw, and the foul play gets up to 93.6. And, it's one of those things where 93.6 is not enough to go Shadow Claw, foul play, Shadow Claw, unless it's like a very, very glassy Pokemon. Like, it's a very glassy Pokemon, then yeah, those Shadow Claws will probably add up. But for the most part, you need to go double foul play. But what this Shadow does is guarantee it's really only going to take 2 foul plays with these claws, right? Because you're looking at basically 186 damage there, plus all the damage of the Shadow Claws at 4.32. Whereas you go the non-Shadow, you're looking at 3.6 and 78. All of a sudden, you may need 3 foul plays on some of these bulkier Pokemon. So I think that's where the difference is, and that's probably why the Shadow is higher rated. Obviously, you give up some bulk with it. Use it as a save swap, Gastrodon Corviknight, because in Season 1, it was Swampert, Skarmory, and Sableye as a save swap. So I just wanted to go back to that here. So use it as a save swap. Obviously, you do not need to use it here. I'll talk about the league in a second here. While kind of covering Sableye when I see something pop up that I want to talk about here. So I'll be at rank 20 right now. I'm like a few wins away, including 1 win over Rise. I made a joke. He had beat me like 9 straight times we've played. I've never beaten him. I was like 0-9 against him, and I finally beat him. So that felt good. So you get there's a couple interesting things. So you get you do get an ELO at like rank 17, which you never get your ELO until rank 20, but rank 20 is, I'm pretty sure, going to be the highest this season. So you get your ELO at rank 17, which means there is, I think, good reason to tank if you are like haven't started yet. Because what you can do is you can go find the chart for this. There are charts that basically tell you how many wins you need per level. So in like level 1, 2, 3, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe even 5, you don't even need to win. You just need to play like 5 battles. And then at like rank 6, you need 1 win. At rank 7 or 8, you need like 1 or 2 wins. And then there's like the ones that are like all dust or all items. You don't need to win any. You just play 5, right? So you could theoretically, it does potentially, I'm not positive on this, but it does go by your ELO rating when you hit like rank 17 and you're maybe paired up with people in your same ELO rating. The problem is you can't tell. So it's interesting to know this because, one, if there is like a hidden ELO rating at like rank 17 here that you're at 1700 or whatever, 1800, you could theoretically have this hidden ELO all the time in regular seasons. So perhaps behind the scenes you have an ELO that you're being ranked with people of similar ELO at your level, as opposed to just the level, because the assumption was always that at rank 20 you finally get your elo and you finally get paired with people at your elo, as opposed to like when you're at 17, 18, 19, you're just being paired with people in that 17, 18, 19 range. But maybe behind the scenes there's actual elo matchup going on. Not positive. But if there is elo matchup going on and if rank 20 is the highest, you could theoretically throw a lot of matchups early, still progress, get those wins when you need to advance, have a crazy low elo, and then just start running the lower table there. So I'll be very interested to see if this season there are a bunch of people who tank. If there's no leaderboard, one day, let's say you can't play, but you just want like a little bit of dust and you want it to make it easier for you the next day. If you've already hit rank 20 and you've got your PIKA Libre and there's no leaderboards, nothing stops you from one day just throwing, if you want like one win to get the first dust column, going like 5 and 20, or even if you don't care about the first dust column for the first time, going 0 and 25, tanking your elo, and then just running the future games. So I feel like tanking is going to be a little more prevalent this season because of that. Otherwise, very easy to get to the battles. Rank 19 is the path with five encounters, but you need 25 wins to get past that. So you could, even if you go 5-0 and get all 5, it still just resets it with a new 5 encounters. The other good news right now is those 5 encounters are no IV floor. In fact, I've gotten some crazy like 1 attack, 15 defensive stamina. I think I've maybe 1 or 2 attack. Like it seems like the floor is like non-existent. I've had like a random like 13-0 something. So no floor on IVs with GBL Pokemon, Honedge, Bastiodon, not Bastiodon, but like Sheldon. So good opportunities to get Pokemon if you get to rank 19 now, when the Go Battle weekend is on, and you run through those 25 there, because you need 25 wins. That's 25 opportunities for good ELO Pokemon. And then when we get to rank 20, again, I'm at rank 19.8 right now. I think I need like maybe 3 or 4 wins to get to rank 20. I did like 60-ish battles on the Thursday, and I did all 100 on the Friday. I don't even know what my average is. I had definitely some bad sets, like 1-5s, no, that's not math. 0-5s and 1-4s, but I've also had some 5-0s, which you're going to see on some teams coming up. So I think my ELO right now is like 2100, 2200, somewhere in there, as I'm approaching rank 20. So my assumption is you seem to have an ELO, but I'm almost positive it does not go above rank 20. I will confirm maybe tomorrow. Yeah, I'll confirm tomorrow because I'm only doing 2 videos tonight because it's already 10:30. So I will confirm tomorrow how far past, like once you hit rank 20, what happens. So check tomorrow morning for that, what happens there. I think those are my thoughts on this. Again, the game is laggy AF, but that is okay. That is what we expect in an interlude season. It's going to be laggy. Yeah, it's going to be laggy. I've had full out freezes. I've had drops of like 4 to 5 fast moves that either I got 4 to 5 fast moves extra, my opponent legged out, or my opponent got 4 to 5 fast moves and I just had no opportunity there. 1 turn lag happening constantly. Honestly felt like a 2-turn lag at times coming in. Interlude season, we're not going to worry about those too much. Just know the game is in pretty bad shape if you play it, so do not expect anything outstanding if you're playing. Meta, I think I'll do like a meta analysis maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday. So check back for that. I've got my thoughts on the meta and where it's going. So we'll do that meta analysis later. Okay. Sorry, Sableye. There's still 13 minutes of battles, so that's okay. So Shadow Vic like, is glassy enough that with these claws, it's only going to be one foul play to take this out. So I'm just over farming here. I'm going to throw the foul play to take this out. Obviously, you can see the claws are really adding up there, but again, it's a Shadow Vic, so it does not have a lot of bulk to begin with. But Steelix here, like this did well over 50% if I remember. Yeah, and I mean, it is a Shadow Steelix, but this is what I'm talking about. Steelix is generally a bulky Pokemon. You're not super attack heavy, but with the Shadow, it gives you some bulk there, like attack ability, plus the stab with and the Shadow bonus. Like you can take out almost all things in two. A little slow on the swap here. The only problem with Shadow Sableye is if you don't shield up anything, you're going to get hit hard. And case in point, Shadow Ball wasn't counting. Shadow Ball landed, takes me to within like 10 HP of being taken out here. They do end up shielding one, and Hex not a lot of fast move pressure, so able to get to the second move here. They may shield. Nope, they don't. So I grabbed a shield and switch. So pretty nice combo there. Again, it's a really good matchup in that scenario, so it's not anything to like be like, oh, Sableye is amazing, but it does what it needs to do in those situations, sort of thing. Getting the Water Pulse off here, super effective. They have one Pokemon left. It is a Charge Bug, which means I'm going to over-shield this Pokemon, Gastrodon, here because I really don't want the Corviknight to see it. And I think I can get 2 Water Pulse off here. So here's the first one. And then I think I can get to the second one because it's going to be a tough Volt Switch down because it is single resisted. So they're going to have to throw here. They do not get to the Water Pulse. If it doesn't take out, a couple HP left. It does take out. So there goes Charge Bug. Tinkaton, good lead. So they're probably going to get out, and we'll see what they get out too. And let's see if Sableye wants to deal with it. Okay, what do you do here? So what you're seeing is me hesitating, figuring out like, what do I do here? So I take the move, eventually get into my Sableye. I know I could take one move, even though I'm a Shadow and it's in their Shadow. I know I could take one move. It does probably will put me in the red, but that's okay. This will take out or grab a shield. They do want to fight for switch. Why I was fine taking that move is because I'm not too worried about switch. Like they may have an answer to Gastrodon in the back, but Corviknight is a pretty good answer to Tinkaton anyways. So we'll burn a shield, have a Water Pulse. Let's see what they come in with. Spear Tomb. So getting off this first Water Pulse, I don't want this thing to Sucker Punch me down because then it can Rock Tomb me. So that is why I'm being aware of that. I'm pretty sure they make a good catch here. So I'm shielding this because anything this thing throws is going to be harder than the Tinkaton. I was trying to, like, I didn't want them to catch, so I was like not throwing right when I got to the move because everything here is resisted. Unfortunately, they make the catch anyways. So taking my payback, which probably cost me this matchup, if I remember. Now I only have resisted move. I do have Sand Attack. I'm basically just trying to chip a bunch, try to bank some energy here. Spear Tomb's got some bulk. I think I'm shooting Spear Tomb right after this. Just getting to the Body Slam here. Any chip to maybe put it in Sand Attack range. But now, even if I get to a payback, which I do, looks like I need a hit first, so we'll go down. So nice catch there on the payback. Doublade, I mean, if anything, just showing that Gastrodon still has a lot of play. A Zoom Roll comes in. And again, so what you're going to see here is, again, thought process. Can't really go Sableye. I have Neutral Claw and Power Gem, so I could do that, but, you know, it's an easy bait for play rough. They can just go Ice Beam. Corviknight, I'd have to rely on the Air Cutter, and I don't like going into matchups that rely on Air Cutter. At the same time, I know they have a Doublade on the lead, and Doublade is Steel and Ghost. So I have super effective Claws and Foul Play, and I have super effective Sand Attack and Payback for it. So basically what I'm doing is just playing out this Azumarill matchup because I think it's more or less my best matchup to have, while knowing that I have 2 answers in the back for Doublade. So Ice Beam comes through. They do take me out. I'm going to get a few claws on Sableye because I feel like Sableye with energy is going to be pretty good. Greninja is glassy enough, and with you as Shadow, it feels like this is an easy bait. And it is. Probably going to shield. Or am I going to run with Corviknight? Looks like I'm going to try and run with Corviknight. Take that Night Slash. Out comes my Corviknight. We'll have to shield this up. Again, I'm not too worried about Doublade. Hydro Cannon is shielded. Getting to the Air Cutter. It'll chip. Probably won't take out, maybe like a couple HP left. Which means I'm going to have to shield up this next move, which I am fine doing. Sableye, I think, still has a little bit of energy. And I do get the farm down, which is huge because now I have a payback. And they are more scared of the Shadow Claw Foul Play on Sableye for some reason. So they let this go, putting it within a few HP. I mean, I have the Foul Play here, so it's not like they had a ton of options because there is the Foul Play to take out what is left of the Doublade. Again with Doublade. Someone says, I keep calling it Doublade, and someone says it's pronounced, oh, where is that? I forget what that comment was. Like double, like duh blade. Because there's two blades, like double the blades, so duh blade. Duh blade. As opposed to like do, I'm reading it do blade. It makes sense. I think it just sounds worse. I think do blade sounds better than dub blade. Or dub blade, or however you say it. Anyways. Fret was there, kind of annoying. Sableye, again, Sableye's going to have problems with your normal typings and your fairies and their darks. So you need to kind of be, if you're going to use a save swap, that's fine, but you need to be able to kind of build around it. You know, this has to throw a Sacred Sword. It's not a great move. I don't love it. I may just sacrifice this and then just come farm with the next Pokemon. Yeah, take a 2-shield Sableye here. Get the full farm down. Come out with the energy. Have 2 shields. Like, I feel pretty confident that Sableye with 2, unless it's a fairy, that would suck. But otherwise, you know, this is not the worst fairy. It's not a charm fairy. So here comes the Power Gem. As you're going to see by the Shadow, this is where the Shadow and the Shadow Sableye and the Shadow Claw damage is going to help you out here. So I'll have to shield. But basically, when I get off this second Power Gem with all these Shadow Claws, it's going to put it within a couple of Shadow Claws away from being taken out here. So here comes the next Power Gem. We'll put it within a couple claws to being taken out. Looks like maybe 6. Maybe want to catch here. Or, yeah, just take this out. I could have like farmed down and shielding, come out with energy. This didn't seem to make sense. Rather just get this out. Knowing I have a shield here. I don't know how much energy they have though. Letting this go because was I worried about how much energy, how much health? I think I was worried about how much energy they had, that if I shielded, I would have like just lost it anyways, and I would rather just run it here. Don't know if that was the right play, but it did work out in the ending. 2 cannon. So with this team, this is kind of what I noticed. You're seeing I'm staying in here because I kind of have to. There seems to be way more normal flying than there have been in the past. You know, one season we did have, not one season, like a few seasons we had Noctowl. Very early we had Pidgeot. But now to have both Pharaoh and Toucanon as potential flying normals really kills this Gastron, Sableye, Corviknight sort of combo that used to work earlier in the seasons. So you may want to pair with like a different thing because you're seeing here, like I have to come in. You do pace at the same, and you pace faster when they go beak break there, but you do pace at the same 10s to foul play and drill peck, which you're going to lose CMP. But if you have like a shield advantage or energy advantage, should be okay. They're getting off another move. I'm going to shield, but like not the scenario you want to be. My attack is lowered. We both burnt shields. They got switch. Another normal type Pokemon comes out. So they have 2 normal type Pokemon on the same team. Kind of a killer for Sableye. So does Sableye have play in the meta? Like it's ranked. Oops, I should hide that since it's ranked 14 and 16. In the even shield, even energy, it's not good. 23-27 with 2 draws and a 467 average. So that's honestly, when you're looking at the even shield, even energy scenario, that's not the win-loss record and average that you want. You want something with like 5 to 10 wins above and like a 500 plus average. So this is actually quite bad. Again, Sableye wouldn't be used in that scenario. Sableye is often used as a safe swap, right? So if you're going to use a safe swap, you're using with like a claw or 2 advantage or maybe shield advantage. So if you add on 1 claw, it gets stupid. That is actually crazy. So I have to go back just to remember what I said. 23-27 record with a 467. 1 Shadow Claw. Just 1. It's a 2-turn move. It's not even like I'm asking for an Incinerate here. 1 Shadow Claw advantage changes that record to 30-22 with a 541. That's crazy. It kind of shows you the power of those foul plays, Shadow Claws, because basically what happens is like those scenarios where if you're in the even shield, even energy scenario, you are losing to Pharaoh and you're losing to actually you're still losing to Pharaoh because Pharaoh's got bulk, but I bet you beat Toucannon now. Where's Toucannon? Is Toucannon not on this list? I don't know if Toucannon's on this list. You still lose to Pharaoh because it just has the bulk, but I bet you 1 foul play takes out Toucannon now, even though claws are resisted. Although it's not on this list, but we'll have to. But you do pick up quite a lot. So even normal typings like Licky Licky, you now pick up despite it being normal. Dunsparce you pick up despite it being a normal typing. You now pick up Pokemon like Blastoise and stuff like this. So the 1 claw advantage, that tells me all you need to know. It's still a decent save swap. Obviously, fairies and darks, like all your losses are Wigglytuff, Morpeko, Greninja, Tinkaton, Furret, Florges, Mandibuzz. Like, so you know what you're getting into with Sableye as a safe swap. I mean, you should know if you've been playing since season 1, or even if you played some, maybe not recently because Sableye hasn't been a safe swap recently, but basically treat Sableye like you would have treated Drapion over the past little bit. A Pokemon that only has 1 weakness, Fairy. Other things can cause it problems like steals and stuff, like Drapion. Pokemon that only has 1 weakness, gonna have a tough time against that weakness, gonna have a tough time against some other things. But if you get it out there and you are 1 to 2 fast moves ahead, and these are only 2-turn fast moves, you have a huge advantage. Like I said, 30-22 with a 541 with 1 claw advantage. 37-15 with a 583 with 2 claws advantage in the 1 shield. So definitely a Pokemon that can cause some problems in the mid game if your opponent does not have a good answer to it. If it does have one of those Pokemon, you're still screwed. Like even with 2 claws, you still have like a lower than 200 matchup with Wigglytuff because it's just going to outcharm you and the foul plays are resisted. Even if you get the power gem, they probably shield, you're screwed. But if they don't have one of these darks or fairies or normal typings, you're going to just run with Sableye. If they do, not as strong. So is there an argument then? Let me just check one other scenario here. Is there an argument that instead you should use it with like a shield advantage on the lead? Like it'd have to be a 2-1 on the lead, essentially. I'm using Sableye on the lead. I'm just going to overshield it and have 2 bulkier Pokemon in the back. Whoa. Okay. That's really crazy. Okay. Is that with no claw advantage? No claw advantage. Huh. Is that right? No, wait. Let me just reset this because that record is insane. 2 shield to the 1 shield. Yep, that's what it says. 50-2. 687 average. Shadow Sableye in the 2v1 shield scenario when you have 2 shields and they only have 1. Your losses are to Wigglytuff and Fortress. Really? Oh, because they can Sand Tomb you and just Bug Bite down. And it's only like 2 HP left. So pretty crazy. Pretty crazy what this Pokemon can do. Just because, you know, even in bad matchups where like if the claws are resisted, you can still just go foul plays in some of these scenarios. Like in the Dunsparce in a 2v1 shield advantage, saying you have to land a power gem. Is that true? Can you not just go straight foul play? Yeah, you could just go straight foul play. In the 2v1 shield scenario versus Dunsparce, which is a normal type Pokemon with great bulk, you beat it just going straight foul play in the 2v1 shield scenario. So, I mean, it doesn't have a lot of fast move pressure, but just kind of shows you what Sableye can do with that foul play buff. So, will you see it? Probably. Those are the two ways you play it, right? You play it on the lead with a 2v1 shield advantage and just bulk it out in the back, knowing that you'll take switch, but you just need bulky Pokemon in the back. One of them should probably be a steal, in case you need to, like, in case you have this on the lead and your opponent stupidly just goes straight into a fairy. Probably need a steal or a poison in the back to deal with it. So have it on the lead, 2v1 shield, poison or steal in the back. Just play it out with a shield advantage, or safe swap, roll the dice that your opponent does not have that normal dark or fairy, or else it's going to be pretty tough to flip the mid game there in any scenario. Anyways, that is it. Let me know how you are doing this season so far, and I will see you guys in the next one.